Oh, barely. Are we? It's Friday. Recycling day.
All right, let's try this. All right.
Okay, go ahead. Try to wake me up, Nita.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. It is February 24th, 2023.
That is disgusting.
God.
The 24th. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at my calendar and I'm crossing it, and it's like, really? We're just about 2 months in already. It's like before we know it, it's going to be fucking July. And it's like, what the heck? You know? Oh, whatever. Today's Friday.
Friday. You ready, Daphne?
Absolutely not. But hit it.
Lockdown Games and Luke Stone Studios presents Hybrids, the role-playing game. This core rules to the new Base Plus 2 game engine allows you to design your own character and create your own homebrewed adventure, complete with charts, maps, and every resource needed to dive right into the Hybrids universe on your own, or continue where the quick play left off with a brand new module. Get caught up on the series with the Killing Field trade paperback. Enhanced with creator commentary and behind-the-scenes information, this special edition gives you even more value and entertainment. All this and more on Indiegogo.
Going on. Good morning, everybody. And as always, you can find links to all of the campaigns featured in the links in the show notes below, so you don't miss anything, because it's like, and also I don't know if we mentioned, it's like congratulations to Mike, Jimmy, to Nina, to everybody who closed out
all the congratulations.
A campaign this previous week, so success all around. New books coming out. Oh my goodness. So who's joining us today this early in the morning?
So far, we got John, Celestri, and Rob Multari.
Oh, hello. Yes. And it's like, and Rob, it's like we're looking forward to that Nightwolf plushie. that should be coming out in a couple of months. What?
You know what I'm looking forward to?
What?
The next Night Wolf campaign, and wait till you see what I saw yesterday.
Oh, really? Really?
I'm not going to say anything. It's not the place. I'm not going to spread Rob's juicy gossip. But y'all, oh my gosh, this campaign is going to have
involved?
Ooh, there's a falafel involved.
Falafels are involved. That's good. That's good. That's how you can always guarantee me in a place.
I guarantee you'll be there.
Oh my goodness. So, oh my god. So hello, and it's really funny because I keep saying it's early in the morning. It's actually 11:05 where I'm at. So it's like I don't, it's like it's like I don't know why I call this early in the morning. It's not like we're doing this at like 6 or 7 or something.
Because it's still pajama time, and we're just
that's true. Yeah, it's pajama time until it's not. There you go. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Rage Into the Vlogs show. And yeah, you know how it goes. And yes, I see you, the 5 people next to my giant eyeball on the screen on my StreamYard. And if you are joining us from Facebook, if you are joining us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube, join the sexy people in the chat, help wake everybody up. We need all the help we can get on this Friday brunch hour, I guess. Yeah, so I guess might as well just get this started. So hello, my name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. Thank you, Efrain.
Calm down. Calm the fuck down.
We're getting to it. I have been self-publishing since 1992, and you know what that means.
Emotional damage.
And I am known for where's my stuff? I'm known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which I'd like to thank everybody for supporting Tall Tales, the Peacekeepers. All my files are out. Hopefully I'll be able to get the books in probably the next 2 weeks so we can get everything out within like early March so we can get started on the next campaign. My medieval fantasy soap opera drama, Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter very, very soon. Already with issue 6. I still can't believe it. So yeah, all the links are in the show notes below if you want to make sure you don't miss out on anything. And in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. You can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, LAGER, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network and Indie Comics Network After Dark. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. Smash the thumbs up, smash the thumbs down. The algorithm doesn't care. It's all the same.
Dollars we allegedly making coming in.
Yeah, exactly. The dozens and dozens of dollars.
I don't even know if we've made it.
And to tell you more about it, here is the one, the only Nita Lanning.
Yeah, so my name is Nita Lanning. I'm a writer, vlogger, blogger, and I'm the executive producer of the Indie Comics Network and Indie Comics Network After Dark on YouTube. And I'm here.
Yeah, we're kind of, yeah. So it's like, yeah, but a lot of campaigns starting up. Yeah, it's kind of like the cycle just continues no matter what, right? I mean, this is just the new now, right? It's like it used to be convention season. Now it's Kickstarter season, and if you want to find your next favorite book, I mean, just make sure you head on over to the links in the show notes below. Hello. Also, don't forget to check out our indie.
Depends on the cat.
Yeah, it depends on the cat, really. It's like make sure you check out also our Indie Comics Network promotions page on Facebook because there's so many more campaigns that are out there than what we can list in the show notes. So, like I said, find your next favorite indie comics, by just following all the links. But at least wait until after the show, though. At least wait until we're done.
I wish Chad was in the chat so I could vague bitch.
Oh no! Why? What happened?
Well, I would just want to put this out there, okay?
Uh-huh.
Like I know that creators have egos, especially artists have egos. Might not be the channel for this, but anyway,
Well,
okay, and everybody's got a project. Well, here's the thing. I keep seeing all these posts on Facebook. Hey, does anybody know podcasting? Going, motherfuckers, y'all all been around this block long enough to know who's running a podcast and who's not. Now, here's the thing. Why don't you, instead of having them come to you, which we will on occasion if we see somebody, there's one of me and there are thousands of you.
right.
Drop a DM. Worst thing I could tell you is no,
Right.
or I'm booked.
Right. Well, actually, the worst
I
you
mean,
can say is that you're booked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's really the issue. If you can't get on one of our shows, it's because
it's because we're booked. And if you have a problem with that, reach out earlier.
Yeah.
Like don't reach out fucking the day before you go live or 2 weeks into your campaign because it's not going like you thought it
Yeah,
would.
that's true.
Reach
yeah.
out 6 to 8, even 12 weeks in advance to guarantee, to increase your chances. I mean, there is no guarantee. I mean, there's been sometimes we've been booked out 20 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like, reach out to the podcasters. We'll actually appreciate it because that means we don't have to go looking for you and hunting you down. And it also, I'd much rather somebody approach me about coming on for an interview because that shows motivation. Whereas if I'm reaching out to them and I'm booking them, I swear 90% of the time, if I reach out to them first, I feel like they back out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Which is possible. Yeah.
So it's like, come on.
Show the initiative. You
show
have
the
initiative. That's the thing too. I mean, it's like, look, I understand that doing a crowdfunder is hard. Just doing the book to get to a crowdfunder is hard, but the work doesn't stop when you hit launch.
No.
I mean, actually your work triples when you hit launch.
When shit gets real.
And you really have to keep cranking that wheel. And it's like, look, we always said it. Nobody can be a louder cheerleader for your stuff than you. So that's the thing. If you want to find, it's like, do the research on what shows are out there before you launch a campaign, so you know who you're going to contact. I mean, it's like, I know that, especially, JD likes to, he just loves to run a campaign at the last minute. He just shows up. Oh, here's a campaign, and then runs out. But the thing is, though, is that if you are the type that are going to schedule your, what your schedule is going to be like in the next couple of months,
right?
Plan out the shows that you're going to be on in those same months, because it's like, most of the time we're booked out by weeks,
months even,
like
right now you want a spot. I hope you're launching in May,
right? So it's like, it's we have limited. It's not like we run a show every day, thank God. It's like, Jose talked us out of that. Jose talked us out of that. But so it's like spots are limited. And you have to, and you're competing with what was it that the stat that someone had said that every day it's like there's like 200 campaigns launching, like at any given time. Right. So I don't know if that's per day or whatnot. Like I don't know what the number is.
And right now it seems above average. So
it's kind of like that beginning of the year rush that everyone's trying to they're just making up from the holidays, and now it's like, okay, now everyone's gonna launch. So so make the effort. You have to make the effort. And it's like, and if you reach out to us, you're at least showing us that you're more likely to
not waste our time by us getting your links and shit together, promoting your crap, and then when it's your turn to come on our crap, you disappear.
Right. So it's like, it's like, like I said, nobody can promote your book harder than you.
Nope.
So so that's kind of, just to keep all that in mind. Well, right, but that,
and
but
we have exceptions to the rules. I'm sorry, I can do that. It's my channel.
Well, that's true too.
We'll always find a place for you.
But also, that is the thing about trying to like I try to like do your scheduling as far in advance as possible, so that if something else comes up, like the artwork's late or the coloring's late or something, or you can adjust for that without there being too much of a hiccup. I mean, I know it's just easy to just throw up a campaign and hit launch, but yeah, like I said, the work quadruples. It's like, look at that. It even got more. It even became more work after the first time I mentioned it. I said it tripled, not quadrupled. But that's how it goes. If you
That's
wait
how
too
it
long,
works.
yeah,
That's
if,
the
if
real
you
math.
wait too long, it becomes more and more that you have to figure out how to do. Oh my goodness. So is there any more housekeeping that
check out Doghouse from Hasm Productions. It's on Kickstarter right now. As you saw, Luke Stone and Nicholas Tuckert have the hybrid Sons of God role-playing game. That is over on Indiegogo. Hojo has the Mythicals and Sign Up over on Indiegogo. And yeah, so it's just been wild, man. Am I forgetting something? That's
probably, most likely.
I am. I know
Yeah.
it. Great. It's gonna be somebody I like, so
yeah.
it's gonna be embarrassing.
Well, and also if you follow the Doghouse campaign, I have not one but two variant covers on the campaign as well. So if you're interested in collecting my artwork, that's another campaign to do that as well.
Do you realize all the creative landings are in Doghouse?
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
edited, Chris did art, Jaden threw in some art
right
as part of the stretch goals, so we're all over there.
Right, yeah. It's like we're just keeping this entire family busy. All she needs now is to get the other kids to learn how to flat. and we can have a little industry over here. No, really, I'm serious. Oh my goodness. So
you thought they had it bad making clothes in China. You don't know what it's like making comics in the States.
It's true. It's true. Ooh. Oh my goodness. So the other day, Jose was thank you, Rob. Thank you. Likewise, sir. So the other day, JD was cleaning out his collection. He was cleaning it out because we had to, he built another bookshelf. So he was organizing his vast library. I mean, he has books all over the house, so it's like
C's side of the room.
It's like, this is beyond C's side of the room. This is like literally, it's like if he could put like bookshelves everywhere, he would. I mean, he has technically he has an entire room in the basement that's pretty much a library, and so it's like all the more shelves are just coming upstairs and everything. So he's putting stuff away. He's putting, like, he has this entire box that's just of like Kickstarter individual issues and whatnot. Right. And I forgot what we were talking about. We were just talking or whatnot. And then it's like he turns to me and he goes, "You are a poor collector." And I go, "What?"
Jerk.
He goes, "You are a poor collector." And and this was a conversation that we've had before, and this of course inspired the topic of today. So what happened was, back in March, I had to redo my entire office. I had to empty everything out because we had a very bad flooding problem. And so we finally fixed it. And when I rearranged the room, what I realized is not every book could make it back into the office. So I had to really think about, okay, who gets voted in onto the island type of thing, so it's like all my different books. And the thing is, though, it's like, I don't, outside of the few comics that I collect from that I buy from Kickstarter, I really do not collect comics anymore. I haven't really done that in years. Right. I haven't really done that in years. In fact, I mean, it's like, look, way back when, I used to have, a kind of like a budding collection, people would pass out if they heard what I had in my collection. Like, I had an entire run original run of Spawn, all the late, like the early Lady Deaths. I had the all the original Maxes that, it's like, a lot of these, really, like I was collecting Spider-Man for a while because of Todd McFarlane. I had those first issues, and for the life of me, I can't remember what the fuck happened to any of those books. I just know I do not have any of them anymore. I don't know if I gave them, I just got tired and I gave them to Jose. I know that I probably sold some of them off. I know that the one thing that I did regret selling off was my entire Marvel run of ElfQuest. I literally remember the day I did it, and I am running through it in my head. And for the life, I really don't know why I did it. I just got rid of all these
impulse.
comics.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, it's like, look, this is what keeps the value up on all your collections is assholes like me getting rid of my shit. And so ever since that, it's like I've been I just don't collect. I don't go into comic book stores. I don't really have the patience for it. Look, I hate shopping at Marshall's, and comic book shops kind of remind me of that. Where it's like you kind of have to dig through shit in order to find stuff that you want. So, and it's like, no, I'm not a digger. I don't do that. It's like, I'm not going to go through, boxes and boxes of 99-cent, comics. It's like, I don't do that. I hate doing that. It's like, so I don't, so like I said, I haven't collected in the longest time, and then it's like probably the last time I had a collector bug for comics was when we first went to Paris and Jose found, because I didn't recognize it. He goes, this is a comic book shop. And I go, no, it's not. And he goes, yes, it is. This is a comic book shop. Because it had none of the trappings that I was used to as a comic book shop. It didn't have a giant witch blade with her tits out and shit like that in the window, Supergirl with her ass showing because of the little skirt, it didn't have that. It didn't have that in the windows. I completely didn't recognize it. He goes, no, this is a comic book shop. And we went in, and boy, the fucker was a comic book shop. But because it was in France, it was a completely different type of comic book shop that I had never seen before. And almost immediately, and I knew it wasn't an American comic book shop, because almost immediately the first books I see were books that I did a beeline to. And we ended it's like, I don't know, it's like I ended up spending my entire I think at the time we were still it was euros. Yeah, and then it was still euros. My entire euro allotment, just buying books from this shop. And you see, and here's the thing though, bande dessinées are all in hardcover. So it's like these giant, it's like these oversized hardcover books. And I'm going to show you one of my favorites right here. It's a very, a very, very masculine book. I was like, this is one of my favorite books that I found there. And I mean, I just bought half the suitcase was full and overweight because of these books. So, and then it's like afterwards we just, Jose just made it a habit of, for my birthday and stuff, is just buying more of these books for me, so it's like, so that was the last time I grew a collection is with all these French books that I have. But even then that kind of slowed down because one, yeah, the bitches are expensive, and two, these are not monthly titles, it's like I think I've been waiting a year and a half for Eagles of Rome to come out with the next. I know that the volume 6 is the Marini is finishing up the book as we speak. So it's like they come out. I'm lucky if I get a new volume every year, because that's how slow they come out. So but they're worth it though. But yeah, but everything else, that's, if you're talking about more mainstream stuff, everything else is just like older titles. And yeah, and I just collect very specific work from Kickstarter. And it's like I said, we were having this conversation, and Jose says that you are a poor collector, and the
Or
implication.
selective.
You know what? That's a good question, because it's like, because he feels that in order to really understand how to make comics and how the industry works, you kind of have to be on top of what's out there. Like, you have to be reading, like, it's like, what, like the new stuff and whatnot. And I'm like going, no, you don't. No, you don't. It's like, I'm doing comics, I'm doing comics just fine, thanks, without having to pick up every little thing that comes out.
Right.
And the thing is, I just don't have the room. Maybe if I had the room and more disposable income, maybe I would be a little bit more less, well, right, yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, that's also another thing like that. Recently, that's kind of where my collection focus is on right now, is collecting manga. Now is getting more manga, because that's just where my interest is right now. And and it just, it kind of and of course, it irritated me, because it's like, yeah, it's like, what? I enjoy comics as a medium, but
Right.
the thing is, though, do I love it? Am I obsessed with it? I mean, it's like, I can actually say no, because I can live without most of the stuff that comes out. It's like, yeah, I'm incredibly selective with what I like. And yeah, and it's like, and honestly, I really don't feel the need to keep up with anything. I mean, I've mentioned many times already, and sometimes you're both, and that's kind of the thing that you have to be. And I think that that's kind of how he looks at it, that it's like, if you want to build a better mousetrap, you have to know how all the mousetraps work, right?
But a lot of those mice traps don't apply
Right.
to what you're trying to catch.
Right. And even then, it's like, I don't do my comics. You see, and that's the thing. I don't do my comics with the idea that I have to catch. It's not Pokemon. I'm not catching anything. It's like, it's like it's like I just have this need to tell this story, but it's a lot more fun when I can share it with people.
Right.
And then it's like, what happens is that, once we started getting on Kickstarter, especially, it kind of ended up with this weird gamification aspect to it, where it's like, oh, if I can get this many backers, what do I have to do to get more backers? What do I have to do to get more money on a Kickstarter? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I get so to me, it's more like whenever I like look at marketing, it's more like, not that, oh my God, it's like I have to like figure out how to sell more books. It's more like, well, what happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? Because this is the thing. I don't play games either. I only have one game I play, and it's not really a game. It's more of a visual novel. But it doesn't really have strategic anything to it, except how to make the correct decisions to see the artwork I really want to see. But that's a different conversation. But or at least more for House of Bob. But speaking of which, House of Bob,
I got it.
Tomorrow we will be joined by our very own Jake Twister on because already we're on the last day, the last Saturday of the month. It's another House of Bob episode where we will be talking about embracing the adult artwork that we love, that we enjoy.
Just a friendly reminder.
Yes,
we will be going live on both channels and Facebook, but 15 to 20 minutes in, we will only be live on Indie Comics Network after dark.
Yeah,
So
excuse me. It's just to allow everybody to kind of like come
to
in
make
and
sure the
settle in and
notifications go
whatnot.
out.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's like she's saying that she's seeing a delay in when the notifications go out. So we give a little bit time, and then usually at around like the 20 or half hour mark, we then shut everything off to Facebook and whatnot, and
And
then
that's
just
when
switch
shit
over.
gets real.
Right, and then we start having, pulling up the artwork that we want to show. So so in the end, so Kickstarter, kind of like figuring out Kickstarter and the algorithm and marketing, that became my Candy Crush, where it's like, it's like, okay, what do I have to do? It's like Tetris. It's like, so if I do this, will this happen? It's like, if I do that, will it unlock this event, type of thing.
Or will everything blow up all around it?
Right. Well, you see, that's the funny thing, because that's the one thing that I don't worry about. Like I don't have any sense of failure, on this. Like, there is no losing the game, because it's like, I kind of think that we're already far enough into it that it's like, up to a certain point, it's predictable. Right. And then it's like, it's only after that it's like, okay, now what? Now what do we do? Right. So there is no failure, on Kickstarter. We're already there. We're already, it's like, okay, we know that I know that it takes me, like 48 hours to reach goal the way I have it set up. So once we reach goal, then it's all about, okay, what do we do now? And then, it's like, okay, does this block go here and this block go there, So yeah, so that's the thing, because so going back to Jose's thing about being a poor collector. So, I just find it funny, because that's an argument that I do see not just from him, but from other people as well, where it's like, oh, like, you have to love comics to be able to do it.
People get
Right.
even more specific than that. They really do. They're like, if you don't like superheroes, you don't like comics.
Right.
I've been told that.
Right.
like,
It's like, yeah, like nothing else exists.
Right.
But here's the thing though. It's like, it's like, I don't know. It's just like, it's like nobody, it's like, I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't watch a lot of movies, but nobody tells me I don't like movies. I don't like TV.
Well, that's because you don't live with C. He would tell you
it's
that.
like,
He tells me that.
yeah.
You don't
But
even
then
like
again, no,
movies.
I've had people say that. So maybe it's not a good analogy, but the thing is though, it's like, I think that what it is,
but when
is
you do like a movie or a television show, you're devoted to it.
Yeah.
It's like,
until Netflix decides to cancel it at the fourth season.
Fuck them
But,
bring back Age of Resistance.
Look, I'm still salty from Marco Polo, but hey. So it's like, yeah, so in the end, it's like, just because my comic book collection isn't vast, does that mean that I don't know what I'm doing? Well, okay, maybe, but you know what? It's like, look, I think that I dedicate myself to the craft enough, that it's like, I'm not just some newbie coming in thinking that comics is a bunch of pictures put together and then you put some word balloons in and then it's like, you're good to go. It's like, no, there's a craft I had to learn. That I'm still learning.
Right.
It's like doing comic books has its own visual language. You can't just come in and start, and just like do, I guess, kind of like the tourist, kind of like you have, tourist manuals. And then you have, well, if you actually want to learn a language, it gets a little bit more involved.
Right.
If you want to learn beyond, being a tourist. Right. So, yeah. So I don't think I'm a comic book tourist. It's like, I really do. It's like,
you want to say more than bathroom, food, and American Embassy.
Or something. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. No, yeah, it's that's true. We did have that issue in Paris. The American Embassy. So and the thing is though, it's like, and that's the funny thing, because it's like, so American comics have a different visual language than Franco-Belgian comics that are completely different from when I look at manga, when I'm studying manga. It's 3 different visual languages. It's like, we were just talking the other day how I'm trying to convert an American comic into a manga format, and it's not just about shrinking it down and turning everything grayscale. I mean, there's a certain visual aspect that I know belongs in that format that doesn't work, in other. So I don't know. It's like, I mean, yeah, a lot of the comics that I'm into are much older. It's like I have my whole, I have my whole Conan thing. I have my whole ElfQuest thing here. I got some like 80s, 90s books, it's like, look, Rocket Raccoon got me. The Mike Mignola run on Rocket Raccoon was what got me along with ElfQuest on this path. One of my favorite books is, X-Men Asgardian Wars. It's like I still have it. The poor thing is all yellow and crusty, but I still have it there. I mean, that was one of the books I knew not to get rid of. And it's like, it's like more recent books. What's the most recent book that I just completely adore? Meta Barons. It's like, it's not a recent book, but it's like, and technically it's kind of like a hybrid between, because it's like it's a French comic that I forgot who published Inhumans, which is a subsidiary of Heavy Metal, so it's like, oh, okay, so maybe it's kind of like, it's still, but that's kind of like the most recent title that I've gotten involved, that I've gotten like really, really into. I still have all the Kickstarter books. I have to sit down and read. I still have to do that because I mean, it's kind of tough for me. I really do have to carve out some time to actually sit down and read this stuff. And it dovetails into a video that I was watching recently that Tyler Carpenter had done. And he was talking about how no matter what you do in marketing, in the end, nobody cares about your independent comic. It's like he was talking about how do we save independent comics? And he goes, well, the answer you don't want to hear is that one, you have to talk positively about comics for people to be interested in comics. And 2, you have to talk positively about things people know.
Right.
Mainstream comics or characters that people know, so that you can get them excited about comics again, so that when you do talk about your comic, they'll care more. Because it's like, because he was talking about, yes, right. Yeah, exactly. And he was saying that it's like, in order to save independent comics, you kind of have to praise mainstream comics in order to do it, because what that does is that someone had brought up that was kind of like the fan art. It's like the fan art theory of this, where if you want to enlarge your audience, you have to talk about things that they already like. And he was talking about how whenever he reads like the latest Batman book or whatever, like mainstream book or Chainsaw Man, whenever he reads that, he makes a video about it, talking about it. And it's not a review. It's not, it's not, he's nitpicking it or whatever. He's just talking about why he enjoyed reading that book.
Right.
And what that does is that it attracts all the people who like Batman. It attracts all the people who like Chainsaw Man. They watch his videos and they go, you know what? We really like the way this guy talks about our favorite thing. What other videos does he have? And then what happens is that he talks about, his girl with the mega fists, and they end up watching that and say, hey, if this guy really likes the books that I like and he's making his own book, maybe I'll like his book. And he was talking about using positivity, as like showing.
Well, we've been saying that for a while. I mean, we have not necessarily to being positive about mainstream or whatever, but we've talked about seeing the difference in the positive attitudes, especially during crowdfund periods when you see these people that don't do as well as they expected that they would or whatever, and then they get all downtrodden and bitchy, and they just their plateau lasts the remaining 3 weeks,
because it's like
people who are perky and upbeat and go ahead and hit it, and they keep moving on,
because it's like who wants to buy a comic from a miserable person? But I think because it's like overall I think I think that positivity in our atmosphere is very underrated. I mean, I think that people are so used to a lot of these negative attitudes that the algorithm rewards people for that especially on YouTube, where it's like you're more likely to find videos about shit people hate, comics people hate, than them talking about comics that they love, right? And that's the thing. And it's like, you know what? It's like, look, my collection is not vast, but the thing is, though, I can talk very easily about the comics that I love. I can talk to you about Savage Sword. I can talk to you about ElfQuest. Klaus was another book. Although me and Jose argue that he says it's Claus, and I go, no, it's Klaus. I mean, that was a recent book that I picked up from Boom. It's like, it's like I can talk about like all my French comics. I can talk about Berserk. I can talk about what was it, Goblin Hunter? What do I have here? Yeah, I think it's Goblin Slayer.
And then even though here's the difference, even the stuff that we don't particularly like ourselves, that we're not going to sit there and just rip it apart,
like there's
no reason to, and I can just as easily promote someone who is on fire for their own superhero project, even though I'm not particularly fond of superhero books.
Exactly. Because it's like, because that excitement is infectious. If you're excited about your book, why shouldn't I be excited about your book? So it's like, it's kind of like, oh yeah, let's all be excited together. We're doing comics. We're having fun. It's like, we're sharing, it's like we have, we're sharing our work to these audiences who didn't know we exist. And now it's like, hey, I want more of your stuff. So I was just like kind of thinking that probably that might be a way to kind of like force myself into taking that time to finally get through these piles of comics and whatnot that I do have, because it's like, read the comic and then do a video about it. And nothing complicated, just do kind of like a quick little stream going, hey, I just finished reading this book. This is what I thought about it. And maybe you'd like, maybe you'd like it too, and it's like
Patrick stresses me out.
Well, it's the jokes, it's the jokes,
But now,
but the whole and it's like, and you see, and that's I really do think there's a difference too, and I don't think that I have to have like 37 long boxes full of stuff that I only look at once every 3 years, in order to be able to talk about comics and do comics and actually put comics together and run Kickstarters. I don't think I need that. I don't think I need to be this, I don't need to be a collector sort of, any more than I need to collect DVDs in order to appreciate movies, or at least the movies that I like. It's like again, it's like my collection is very small as to what kind of movies I like watching. We
don't love a lot, but when we love it hard.
Well, that's true. I really do think that that's I think that describes that describes what like how I look at it. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to be it's like, yeah, it's like what I love is not indiscriminate. It does have
It's not
conditions.
vast, but it's deep, bitches.
Right,
It's
yeah.
so deep.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like if I latch on to something, yeah, it's like I'm holding on to it.
Come back,
Why'd
Patrick.
you stop? Why'd you stop at look, Nita's just kidding, Patrick. Don't take it so seriously. It's like it's just the dad jokes are just puns, and dad jokes make her flip tables. That's all. You know, so you know, it's like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, and I get upset, you know, and it's like, yeah, and especially, you know, I get upset when shit happens, like, oh, they're canceling The Witcher after season 4. So sad. You know, it's like that's it, you know, it's like that infuriates me, you know, it's like, you know, I don't care about some random comic from, you know, from Marvel or DC, you know, it's like, but you know, I do have things that I like, you know,
Right.
and that's just what it is. You know, and the thing is, and people go, oh, but it's like, you know, it's like all the stuff that Marvel and DC are putting out is crap. And it's like, look, 95% of everything is crap. Now, here's the thing. It's like, well, you know,
It's still a choice.
you know, but also I think nowadays too, just a little sidebar. If you really do like a movie, buy it in physical form, because I mean, the way this whole streaming /
Oh,
digital
I'll tell you,
content thing
I
is,
will give y'all a first-hand reason why I always buy physical if it's available.
right.
My son is on the spectrum, as a lot of people already know, and he went through a period where he was very obsessed with Plants vs. Zombies. We ended up ordering a digital copy of the original Plants vs. Zombies, you know, with the fucking flowers and not the garden warfare stuff or whatever. Well, anyway, we had some issues with the PlayStation and whatnot, and it was supposed to be saved to download. We got a new system, and I went to pull it up, and I couldn't. Now,
Oh,
mind you, we paid for this motherfucker.
because they discontinued
They
it.
discontinued it.
Right. Your
Right,
lease
and
was up.
And recently I've noticed there's a couple things off of our Amazon Prime that have disappeared that were bought that we
Yeah.
owned in our library.
Oh yeah, like I've had books disappear from my Amazon library. Like I gotta go, I could have sworn I had this book and it's not there anymore. You know, and I paid real money for a fake
Right?
item. You know, that's what it felt like. So it's like, yeah. So you know what? It's like, yeah. If honestly, I think nowadays have the physical collection if you can, because it's like a lot of these. You know, if you're not dealing with the purposeful Mandela effect that Netflix is doing by changing episodes, by re-editing episodes as they air,
That's so insane.
you know, it's like, yeah, just you know what, have that collection. Yeah, that I agree with.
Definitely. Because there was nothing where I swear he still does it. He still brings it up from time to time just to
Right.
rub it in.
Right. You
It's like,
know,
yeah,
I mean,
okay, we should have went to the video store and bought the damn thing.
right, exactly, you know. But oh yeah, but the thing about it's like, oh well, you know, it's like, you know, 95, yeah, so like I said, 95% of everything is crap. So here's the thing, why do you want to waste time bitching about shit? You know, why do you want to waste time giving attention to companies that are using your outrage as free advertising?
Right.
You see, and that's kind of the thing too. It's like whenever you see one of those like 3-hour you know, videos on, oh my god, someone got an MPreg fic published at DC or whatever the fuck is going on over there, you're giving DC free advertising. They did that knowing it was going to trigger you to do a 3-hour commercial for
and
them.
all your bitching does is send other people over there to go check it out.
It's like, oh, I wonder, oh, they must hate this, let me go check it out. So now imagine if you were talking enthusiastically about something you did like. You know, I mean, it's like, would you have the opposite effect where it's like, you know, you're talking about, you know, you're talking about your favorite Batman comics or your favorite Marvel comics or whatnot. And then it's like you're going, yeah, and it's like, and it remind, it's like, and these comics inspired these comics that I bought off of Kickstarter.
Right.
So it's like, if you like that, it's like you're probably going to really like these. And it's like, what happens there? So I guess, in a certain way, you're using someone else's collector sensibility in order to get them to pay more attention to independent comics. Because, yeah, it's a little tough for me. It's like, if I'm not talking about the latest whatever, mainstream comic, yeah, maybe there's an audience I'm not able to
access or reach.
To reach, because, well, what do you like? You don't like what I like, so why would I like what you're making, right? So it's like, okay, on that level, I think I can kind of understand that, so so it's like, yeah, it's like, so it's like, do I love comics as look, I enjoy comics as a whole. Do I love very specific comics? Absolutely. It's like, just thinking about Eagles of Rome and Meta Barons and look, nothing ignited my love of ElfQuest more than listening to that audio thing.
That
audio movie. Yeah, we still have to, and it's like, we still have to listen to the rest of it for Allison, because she.
Yeah, I'm ready for that too. Yeah, I'm ready to listen to it again.
We're good. We're ready to go. So whenever you're ready, Allison.
Oh, speaking of Allison, Allison
yes.
would normally have Arting with the Alley Cat today. She is not. She will be running tomorrow afternoon with Ian Chase Nichols, the guy who does the Tick. He'll be on there with her. So
very nice.
Yeah, so we have a special Arting with the Alley Cat tomorrow. Also Sketchy Saturday at 10 a.m. and House of Bob at 8 p.m.
Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, so no, it's the little house cleaning, little housekeeping thing that pops in. So do I love certain comics? Absolutely. It's like, look, I hate Guardians of the Galaxy, but I waited 35 years to get the amount of Rocket Raccoon merchandise
right
that has yet to be able to make it into the office, but I'm trying.
We're getting there.
We're getting there, but but it's like, because of those that Mike Mignola run. It's like I have them, it's like I have the issues up there on my wall. Let's say, are you really showing your personal investment by being negative about what a company did that you don't like? You see, that's the thing, because you're actually, you're showing your personal investment in hating. And that's the part that I don't understand. Because,
but then we bitch about getting less of what we love. But if we're not talking about what we love and spreading that around, how
right? Because all you're doing is, if you hate these companies for doing stuff, whatever dumb shit they're doing, right? And they're conversely using you as free advertising for that dumb shit. Aren't you encouraging them to do more dumb shit? So don't encourage these companies to do more dumb shit. Encourage them to do the books that you do want to see, so that we can use that to introduce people to what we're doing. It's like, look, and mind you, I'm reluctantly saying this as somebody who did fan art at conventions for a little bit and stopped almost as quickly. Once I realized that what I was seeing at conventions is that people just wanted pictures of Deadpool and move on, that they were not interested, that I could not convert people who wanted fan art into people who wanted to read like Tall Tales or Eagle Raven. I couldn't do that. It's like I just couldn't get that to work. Maybe online, maybe here it's different, because it's like there is no, I don't know. It's like, maybe it's just a different environment where attitudes are a little bit different. Maybe the type of people that go to conventions are just kind of not the people who are really into comic books to begin with, these are the people who goes like, oh yeah, I love comic books. I saw all the movies. It's like, no. So
Aren't you special?
yeah, right. Yeah. So it's like maybe like conventions nowadays just attracts people who are not conducive to this. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been at a convention. And and felt like I was getting anywhere with it. I guess, to kind of to put it that way. But yeah, it's like what made my day yesterday was having someone on the show. I was asked the question about where to start when it comes to getting into Wonder Woman. It was my opportunity to share my love. There you go. You
It actually makes our lives
Yeah.
more interesting too, because we're
Yeah.
talking about what we love instead of just bitching about what
Right.
we hate.
Exactly. And then it's like, and again, and it's like, and it, it's like, well, like I said, it's like, it depends on who knows where that's going to lead somebody. It's like, and again, it's like, will they come back and say, hey, I really enjoy your recommendations, and now you're doing a comic. Maybe your book is also something I'd be interested in as well.
Absolutely.
So it's like, that's kind of, I don't know. So that's kind of like what I learned, well, from Tyler's last live stream, when he went more into detail about this. But but the thing is, though, it's like, so what if I'm a poor collector? It's like, yeah, but
Yep.
you know what, the stuff that I collect means something. It's like, it's like they got back into the office for a reason, and I redid my shelves so I could have easier access to them, so that I'm not digging through boxes every 3 years trying to remember if I have it. So yeah.
Yeah, because we don't want to become the junk lady from the labyrinth.
Oh yeah, no. That's yeah.
Like,
Well,
no.
it's. I mean, that's kind of. Well,
You're not.
It's kind of like that anyway.
It because it does get that way, but at least you're filling it with shit that you're gonna go back to.
Right. And
You're not buying dust collectors.
Right. And I think that's the important thing when I was bringing. Well,
you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Everything's a dust collector. But when I redid The Office, I really had to think about what is it that I want to surround myself with. It's like, what are the things that I really want back in this office that I want to look at all the time? And that's the thing. It's like, I want to be able to see them, not have like piles and piles of stuff on a shelf that I can't see, So it's like, what do I want to surround myself with? It's like, yeah, it's like, I want to surround myself with all the little things that remind me of things and are inspire me in certain ways, just like, and my books are the same way. What books are going to make it back into the office? What books did make it back into the office? It's like, I have very particular art books. There's a couple of books I still want to bring in, but they ended up at the end of the line. It's like, well, I had a lot more other books I rather have before you, kind of thing. That was the conversation I had to have with them, mommy really does have favorite children and you're not it. So it's like, yeah, so I mean, yeah, if yeah, so you know what, maybe that's just what I have to do. It's like, I have to like sit down, actually finish something, and then do a quick video about it just to talk about it. It's like, this is why I like this book, I really enjoyed it, whatnot. I mean, it's like, look, it's the same thing with novels to me. It's like the last novel that I haven't. It's like, look, the last novel that I remember reading, and even then I didn't finish, was Moon of the Crusted Snow. And the only reason I didn't finish it, because it's kind of the concept of the book is that, what if there was an apocalypse and you didn't know and you didn't notice? Because it's about, the apocalypse happens, right? Some kind of like, and mind you, this was pre-COVID, like some kind of disease starts turning people into zombies and shit, right? But the problem is that it's about these native people on a reservation who their lives don't change.
Huh.
and they don't know what's going on because of their life on this reservation being as difficult as it is, that
Right.
a literal apocalypse happens around them,
And they're
and
just like, huh.
they don't notice until people start trying to escape into their onto their reservation, because it's far enough away from the cities, and they're like, oh, what the fuck is happening? And the book gave me the sweats. It's like, it was such a suspenseful book, and it was just like turning every page was excruciating. It was a really, really good book, but I have yet to finish it. And this was like I said, this was pre-COVID. I mean, the last time I remember reading this book, I was waiting in a corral for the Miami half marathon, and it was like friggin' like 5 a.m, and I was just in the corral, just reading this thing, waiting for the start of the race, and that was like the last time I read it, because like I said, it was just like I couldn't, it's like it was just that intense, and I know that I really should finish it. And probably I should, so I could do a 10-minute video about it, you know? So yeah, so maybe that's what I just have to do. Okay. For a split second, I thought you froze, Nita. So yeah, so maybe that's just what I have to do. That's the next level that I have to do. I have to actually sit down and kill a couple of birds with a couple of stones. And it's like, make more videos for my YouTube channel, right? Talk about the different kind of comics that I'm into more, right? And actually sit down and read the pile of comics that I have already from everybody that I bought from on Kickstarter. I really do have to do that, So, I bought your books for a reason. It should be reading it, right?
Right.
You would think, God forbid, right? Oh my goodness. So, do you have any final thoughts on this? Any thoughts?
No, I'm good.
Right. Yeah, because that's kind of all I got. It's like, so yeah, so I guess like let's all just move forward thinking a little bit more positively about this hobby that we're in, and what we're trying to do and whatnot. And yeah, and it's like, and just because you're a poor collector like me, doesn't mean that you can't have passion for the books you do collect.
Right.
Love
what you love. If it happens to be a comic, great. Do you have to love comics to make comics though?
Right. I mean, I enjoy the medium. I love the medium. It's like there's just something about seeing artwork and text together, unveiling a story, that it's like, that's why I do it. It's like, if I didn't want, if I wasn't interested, I'd be doing novels. I don't know what the fuck I'd be doing, honestly. It's like, it's just, comics came into my life, and very quickly I learned this is what I want to do. So yeah, so it's like, look, 1992, man, I mean, I haven't stopped yet. So if that's not a love for the medium, I don't know what is, I mean, honestly. And it's like, okay, it's like, if I'm a poor collector, I'm a poor collector. I accept my fate. I accept the title.
You're a terrible collector.
Yeah, exactly.
The worst.
I'm the worst collector. Yes, I am. But there's only so much room I have. That also doesn't help either. So there you go. So thank you everybody in the chat for joining us today. Thank you to the 11 people next to my giant eyeball for making it through this hour on this Friday. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and remember to join us tomorrow for House of Bob, our adults only live stream / draw stream, where we will be joined by Jake Twister, and it's from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So don't miss out on that as well. Yeah, so like I said, anything else you want to mention, Nita, before we go?
Tomorrow's a busy day, starting with Sketchy Saturday, then arting with the Alley Cat, and then House of Bob. So yeah, tune in to Indie Comics Network and Indie Comics Network After Dark.
There you go. And if you want to learn more about me and my art and all my upcoming campaigns, because there's plenty of them coming up, you're going to head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. You can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're into seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And don't forget that you can also see all my videos on how I do my comics here on YouTube on my channel at Daphne Lage Art. Which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And also, you can join me almost every Wednesday from 4 to 6, where I do a 2-hour draw stream where we go more in depth with these conversations if you want to check it out as well. And remember that you can read Eagle Raven, Air of the First Unicorn for free at the website. It uploads daily, but you can also download a free PDF of the first 16 pages of issue 1 if you want to check that out and learn more about the book before the next campaign goes live very soon. I don't want to give a date just yet because I want to see how how easily Peacekeepers fulfills.
Right.
So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter while you're there so that you get notified when the campaign goes live. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the links over to Tall Tales Online, that's TAILS, and read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, along with the daily upload of the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which continues exactly where Thieves Quest left off. So not only do you have 20 issues of content on the website, but you have all new episodes as well uploading every day. So that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for joining us. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. So, and also one last thing the ancients wants you to remember too. Don't worry about the opinions of people you do not respect. Just keep moving.
Well, then.
There we go. So a little final thought for everybody. We'll see you guys later.